All right. Hey everybody. We're back and we're going to move over to the Democratic Republic of Congo, which is one of the countries we like to talk about here. We've been following the Democratic Republic of Congo's election for about a year. The election that's supposed to happen at the end of December, and so the opposition. So there's an opposition candidate named Felix Tshisekedi. That's the best I could do. Who's the son of Ethiopian Tshisekedi, who for decades was the face of DRC's opposition. Joseph Kabila is the son of the prior president. You kind of noticing a little theme here. Mm-hmm. And so Tshisekedi, the younger Tshisekedi, has brought in another member of the opposition to run with him. So that's kind of a big deal, you know, that the fact that, like, if you have like opposition people combining, I mean, that's a good sign. And so yeah, okay, so we're pretty hopeful about that, but you know, I mean, it's pretty scary. I mean, you know, there's a real likelihood of, you know, we just don't know if Kabila's going to step down. You know, they have 7 UN peace, you know, students were shot dead in Congo demonstrating for more pay for teachers, and okay, the opposition leaders. Okay, this happened in Switzerland. The opposition leaders picked. They met together there. So, and they're still, and you know, and they still have Ebola, and people are still shooting at healthcare workers, which sucks. Man, that's bravery. I do not think I would go out and try and take care of people that were. Well, the patients aren't shooting at them; it's other people.
Right.
God, that's guts.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we really hope that the people of Congo get to vote, that they have a free and fair and safe election. Okay, so yeah, that's one of the reasons. I mean. So another thing that recently happened in France, because this is another theme that we think is sort of interesting. There was a ceremony in France to commemorate the African and Asian soldiers who fought in the World War. Like, basically the people, you know, the people from colonies that were, you know, that came to fight. And so now, like 100 years later, people are saying thank you. How nice. I've been. Oh, I don't have. Okay, my notes for this are on an actual piece of paper, which I will get during our next break. But I've been reading about some of the. You know, what was going on in World War II with, here we go, with Libya and Italy. So, you know how we've been talking about the Italians' response to migrants and, you know, all of that stuff. I did not realize that Libya had been a French colony. I didn't even know that. And so that being so people that are trying to get out of Libya and, try and get to Italy for a better life. I mean, so far as I'm concerned, Italy owes them. And that's just so fucked up.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been, I was watching a documentary about some of the, some of the migrant boats, and we've talked before about the Libyan Coast Guard, and so they go out and try and catch migrants, but there's also aid organizations going around in their boats, and so they consider them, they each think the other side is damaging the cause. But God, it's pretty scary. But I mean, like 40%, some crazy percentage of Libya's population was like decimated by Libya, and and then Italy was at war with killed a lot of people in Ethiopia. So I don't know, man. That just becomes more and more fucked up. And so so that's one of the things that we've talked about, and we've also talked about artifacts going back. And so there's now an issue with artifacts that were plundered in 1868 from Ethiopia that are in a museum in Great Britain, and Ethiopia wants them back. And the museum offered to loan them. It's like, well, yeah, let's loan what was yours or whatever. But oh God, don't you just don't you just wish they could do something like what they did in Black Panther?
Like what exactly?
When he pointed out the looted art.
Oh.
That was the best part.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. You talking about the beginning?
The beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my favorite part.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That caught me off. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, ever since we started talking, ever since you. Okay, so Ethiopia in the meantime has elected a woman president, and they now have Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, who we really like. He just gets cooler and cooler. Half of his cabinet are women. Go, like shit. Fuck moving. We were talking, fuck moving to Spain. This makes me want to move to Ethiopia. And okay. But nothing's perfect. Police in Ethiopia say that they have discovered a mass grave with 200 bodies near the border between the Somali and Oromia regions of the country. And Oromo, we've talked about that. Oromo is a nation from the north of Ethiopia, and Mr. Ahmed is the first Oromo prime minister of Ethiopia. So, the former president of Ethiopia's Somali regime is named Abdi Mohammed, and he's awaiting trial over allegations he fueled ethnic clashes. And a notorious regional security force known as the Liu Police is accused of carrying out killings in the area between the Somali and Oromia regions. And so that's the region that is also next to Eritrea, where they were, so they're still trying to figure that all out. But I think they're doing pretty good. Prominent Ethiopian opposition politician Biturkan Mideksa has returned home from exile in the United States, and she had been jailed and returned, and there has been a commitment. Ethiopia's former deputy intelligence chief has been arrested amid investigations into corruption and human rights abuses committed by the security forces. So he was the head of the National Security Agency, and they've arrested like 60 military and government officials for crimes like this. So, the move has been widely welcomed by human rights groups. And then Derartu Tulu. Ethiopian names are kind of spelled phonetically, are pronounced kind of phonetically, so that might not be too bad of a pronunciation. The first Black African woman to win an Olympic gold medal has been appointed as interim president of Ethiopia's athletics federation. Man, they just keep, it just gets better and better over there. Okay, so we don't talk that much about Brexit, but I was listening to some interviews from people in Wales today, and not people that voted for it now want to change their mind, and it looks like they probably are going to, which I just don't understand. I don't understand how you could vote on something so important and not and then change your mind. You
Right.
really, I mean, that's a big deal. Okay, so there's stuff I was looking at the okay, so we're having and there's been a crackdown against gay people, and which is they're like being arrested and subjected to like forced exams and physical examinations, and the European Union has recalled its ambassador regarding the deterioration of the human rights and rule of law situation in the country. So somebody's saying something about it. Vallejo has sister city program, and their sister city, they have a sister city in Tanzania, and people keep talking about Vallejo having Tanzania as a sister city, which drives me crazy because Tanzania is a country. But there's people that have issues with our country having any with interacting with this country because of their human rights and record. And I am not getting, and because of their anti-gay things, and I am not getting involved in this because I feel that we need to find out, if we're going to do anything, I feel we should find out what gay and lesbian people in Tanzania want us to do to support them, and before we just start saying all this stuff. So yes, I'm staying out of this because governments don't like to hear from outsiders, okay? They just don't. And so I really don't think it's going to make any difference to anyone. But yeah, like if we could connect with gay groups there, that would be cool, and support them that way. So, okay, so that's what's happening, and I think that's most of the news we have over in Africa. And so, okay, so in Hungary, Viktor Orban, the Orbanator, is still an asshole, and their militant right is just very strong. And I've watched some interviews with some of these guys, and they're really inarticulate. They can't even, it's weird. I'm like, okay, I don't know how you can have a conversation with them, because all they say is like they can't really express anything. So, we have that, we have all of our far rightists here in the United States. I don't know. The anti, oh my God. Well, what's the latest here with all the people hanging out on our border? Oh my God.
That's crazy.
That happened right. Yeah. That was right before the election, and before that happened, my dad was saying that it would be great for Trump. It would be great for Trump and the Republicans if tons more migrants tried to come here. And what do you know? There was the caravan. I was like, whoa, Dad, you were right. They love that shit. It gives them an excuse to get people fired up and God, I don't know. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I don't know. If people are gonna be like walking in all that way in the inclement weather, they must be escaping something pretty bad.
Right.
But then there was like great coverage of like tear gas and stuff, and it's like, okay, the media just photographs. The liberal media is gonna photograph people being tear gassed, and the conservative media is gonna photograph criminals or like dangerous people, and so I just think that try to remember the majority of the migrants are neither. I would say, because I was like, shit, what the hell are you doing? Like running toward, there are people. Why are you holding your kids and running? Why are you bringing your kids? Trying to like rush a wall with your kid, right, knowing that you're going to get that's right. Really, I call that very irresponsible. Okay. It's like, come on, what do you think you're going to do? You're not going to get over the wall with your kid. I don't know.
I think some of them, it comes down to also their opportunity of trying to come over here, they feel is better than where they're at. They get it bad over there. So I see the point. You shouldn't. A lot of people say, "Why do they bring their kids?" But what are they going to do?
No, I am talking about people that bring their kids. The people that tried to like rush the border.
Oh.
They were getting tear gassed.
Oh,
and all that. No, those people brought their kids to do that.
Right.
I mean, the other migrants are like, hanging out, trying to. There is a legal process to enter the country, and if you have your kids there, you should be trying to do that. If you want to go try and like bust in on your own and all that, go for it. But
that's the catch-22 of the legal process. That a lot of them, they ain't got that money to do that.
They don't need money to apply for asylum.
Yeah, but
no, they don't need money to apply for asylum.
I know, but the way Trump and them have it set up, you have to get visas. My friend, which he's Ethiopian, it's not Mexico technically.
But
he was going to bring his wife over. But still,
but I'm just that what they are doing is claiming asylum.
Yeah. And
that's different. That there's an international standard for claiming asylum.
Yeah.
All countries are supposed to allow people to do that.
Supposed to.
Well, yeah.
I don't think he's going to let that happen. Or he's going to try his hardest to stop it.
Well, yeah, and but that's why, we try and get international help. But, that's what we need. That's what we need to try and do.
Right.
And so, but no, it doesn't cost any money to claim asylum.
Yeah.
The visa... The situation that you're talking about is different. And so what is the guy's trying to bring his wife over?
Well, he did it. He already did it. But technically, he didn't get into logistics of what more he had to do. But he had to pay almost like $2,000 or something to get her a visa. He had to keep
not very much.
Back. It's very much to people who don't have money.
Well, of course it is. But no, it's
Me
not.
Me and you, we could probably come. I could work and get the money. But I'm saying like someone, a laborer or someone from Mexico...
Well,
trying to get that much money.
But no, okay, we gotta separate. The Mexico issue is completely separate than we're talking about a couple different things here.
Yeah, but technically this. It's kind of still the same way.
No,
of
it's
how
very different.
Trump wants them to come over. The legal way to me that Americans see it is pay, get you a visa, apply to be a citizen. Do it that way is the way. They're not trying to come over for asylum.
There's that way, and there's claiming asylum. I mean, claiming asylum is you're supposed to be able to, like, you know, by international standards. Well, I know, dude, but you know, those are the laws that we need. But you know, we are not helpless. That we have those laws, you know, and so there are lawyers, there are advocates, there are plenty of people down there trying to help. And so no, claiming asylum does not cost money.
I mean, as you see right now. Are they allowed to come in here yet? And they're claiming asylum?
They're trying to claim asylum. I mean, it hasn't happened yet.
So I mean, that's
what they're trying to do. It's not a quick process.
Exactly. And what is Trump trying to keep them from doing it?
What? But
that's what it seems like to be.
Well, yeah, but that's why we have lawyers and judges and all of that. But you know, the thing is, it's like I mean, you know, so far as like paying. You know, if you're gonna like come over here from Ethiopia, you should have some money. You know, you should have some money. So if you don't have 2,000, you see what I'm saying?
I kind of see how you're saying that, but technically, all the way around, people seem to make it more on the way of paying and doing it the right way is paying, coming in, getting yourself a visa, and making yourself a citizen. And I understand what you're saying. You know, maybe from Ethiopia, you should be able to pay, and which he was. It took him time, but I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, that's the point. That's all, you know.
Most of the people who are, to me, from what I've talked to people, they're not looking at the asylum part. They're looking at the part.
Most people don't understand it.
Yeah, but when you argue with people, their argument is, why don't they work and get the money and pay to come here instead of trying to just hop over a fence and come, you know, that's the way they explain it.
Well, so trying to explain to them about claiming asylum. The claiming asylum people are not the fence jumpers.
Right.
You can't, I mean, theoretically.
You see what I'm saying? You're kind of thinking, you see what I'm saying a little bit?
But I'm still, I mean, it's important to make the distinctions.
How would you know the distinction?
Well,
if someone wants to just hop over the border, and then let's just say that they decide, well, I just want to apply for asylum. Yeah.
You can't.
How can you distinguish the two?
Well, okay, and I can't. In order to, I'm not sure if you're eligible for. I think you're still. I'm not sure if you're eligible for asylum if you hop the fence, but. The majority of people are trying to do it legally, which means you go to the port of entry and declare and apply for asylum. Okay. The majority of people are trying to do it that way.
Okay, that's my question. That's what I was trying to get to you.
Yeah. There's only a few, our friends at Fox News are going to photograph like the 10 people trying to jump the fence, whereas most of them are hanging out trying to do it the legal way.
Right.
So. But so far as people coming over from so that's how somebody should do it. That's how my great grandmother came over here by herself and like started bringing the rest of the family over. Right. And so if somebody's going to come here, they should like save up some money before they bring someone else over. Yeah, they should do that. That's irresponsible not to.
Right, of course. That's usually how it happens anyway. But, I'm just saying in theoretically, the ones that are first trying to get over here in the first place to even get that to get started, they still got to get here to do it. You know what I'm saying? Well, your grandmother had to get here first. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. There has to be someone from your family to get here. Yeah. But before then you can get the ball rolling to where, okay, now I'm here, I can get a better job, I can save up whatever it is. To get my people over here legally.
That's what people do,
Yeah, but whereas to me, it's like Trump is trying to you can't come over here. That's it. We don't want you over here.
Yeah, but there's judges have struck down some of his things, and it was they stopped the. Separating children, which is there's still like separated families, which is terrible.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That was crazy anyway.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, we can't just sit back and like let him do it, you know, and,
Right,
and he
right,
and
true.
he hasn't. I mean, you know, there's been checks and balances. I mean, the Muslim ban was struck down in court. So you know that's what we need to do,
Right.
and
Okay.
you know, it's called keep trying to. I mean, that's the point of you know of due process that you know in the Constitution, you know, it says everybody is entitled to due process, and it's for all of us. The legal system is for all of us, and you know, I know it doesn't. It's certainly, you know, it has a lot of failings and unfairness, and you know, we need to try and make it more fair. But you know, we need to use it,
Right.
and he can't get, you know, he can't. And I mean, and so far as like whether Trump's going to be impeached and all that, you know, I mean, if there's a legal, then I mean, it needs to happen legally.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, I think if he did get impeached, or if they did try that, I think he would bring people with him. That's why I think he would bring people down with him. I think he would.
Well, he doesn't need to. A lot of his people are going down already.
Well, I'm saying, if he went down, he would. I just feel he would.
I'd be afraid all of his followers would riot.
That too.
that would be kind of scary. I mean, get all those MAGA people out like. Oh, no.
I don't know, man.
Yeah. No, I think
don't know, man. I think they would be a shock. I think they.
not for long. Should they'd be coming out with the tiki torches?
Oh yeah, they come on. I think they would do some crazy stuff for a minute, but I just don't think they would last.
No, I think he's going to get reelected.
He gets reelected, I'd be shocked.
I wouldn't be because
I'd be shocked.
he's still. I mean, he still has his fucking rallies.
He does.
I
But
mean,
I'd really be.
He does because
really
he has
shocked.
his rallies. Like basically, most of the people that voted for him still like him, and so they keep going to his rallies and bringing their families, and so that's like over 4 years, more of them have like gotten to be able to vote.
It's like I mean, everybody. I know they're gonna say, "Well, we like him. He's this." I kind of think it's kind of one of those situations where you got it, now you're stuck with it, so you have to back it up.
I wish you
have
were
no
right,
choice.
but that I do
I just
not
don't
get
really
that
think
impression.
I don't understand how you could like that. I just don't get it.
Well, me neither. But
I can't.
look
I
at
can't
all-
understand as a black person how you
Yeah.
could like him. I'm sorry, that's me.
yeah,
As a woman,
yeah,
it's I
doesn't
just
make
can't
sense to
see
me
it.
either.
And when you try to explain it, and after the stuff you've known he's said about women, the little bit of trouble he's gotten into that he's trying to sweep under the rug, that other guys are going to jail for, but you're still cool with him, but you're gonna be mad at. Let's say you're gonna be mad at Bill Cosby and be mad at all these other people, but you're cool with your president doing it. To me, it's just like, yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of like that thing that when you've chosen to back that up, and you don't want to be wrong now, so you have to.
I wish I thought you were right. I was
That's
just
my
reading.
theory.
I was reading some interviews earlier with with women from campus Republicans. There weren't very many, so it was. They went to some event. There was like 60 guys and 12 women.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so they were saying like, oh, blah blah, people are so, you know, and like, no, people should be. I mean, they are treated badly at universities, and like, yeah, they should be treated with respect, like everyone. But I don't know, man. I mean, look at people. Look at his rallies. There's still tons of people coming out to those rallies, man. They don't have to be there.
I saw this show. This guy was going up to people. He was like in one of the places that everybody was Trump. It was these weird areas.
Yeah.
And he would go up to him and say, "What's your thought on Trump?" And stuff. And some of these people are like still talking about Obama being a terrorist. I mean, some of these people ain't even right. You know what I'm saying? They're not right. These
And
are
there's
like
a lot
small
of them.
town people. Like
Yeah.
these are people that lived in like towns like Vallejo since they were kids and
Yeah.
haven't even been out of their town. So that's how
Yeah.
they think. I mean, I just really don't think of them in the same light. And like even now, with the
Unfortunately,
whole
they
situation with GM,
Yeah.
With Mr. I'm going to keep everybody's job.
Oh my God.
You know what happened on my Facebook feed? I don't hear nothing from Trump supporters no more. Not a damn thing.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? If this would have been Obama, oh God, you see what he did?
Yeah.
14,000 jobs.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Quiet. Because they can't. And also it showed on Fox News, so they can't say it's fake news.
Yeah.
Unless they're going to say Fox News is fake now.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, to me, they really put themselves in this mental state of, I don't care. Trump is right no matter what he says.
Well, and then what they say, when they, a lot of them, okay, when you bring up Trump's, like, sexual assault stuff, this drives me crazy. They bring up Bill Clinton. It's like, that was 25 years ago.
Well, to me, that doesn't matter. To me, when
it doesn't matter to me to bring up. I mean, to me, it's just annoying when you're trying to talk about the present day and somebody brings up 20 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. It's like when I'm talking. Let's say I'm talking about somebody else, and then you bring up somebody else. It has nothing to do with that person.
Exactly.
It's about you.
Yeah.
So if you raped somebody or did something to somebody, and you say, "Well, John did it too," what does that have to do with what John did for what she did? That's how I feel about it.
You know,
it's just he say, she say.
But that's what they say. And the thing people say about Trump is that they say, he says his mind. People like that he speaks his mind.
Charles Manson used to speak his mind.
I know, dude. I'm just
saying
telling you what they say.
And saying all kinds of stupid stuff. So we're gonna like him because he spoke. I mean, some people are just loony.
Yeah, but you know,
I'm sure there's a lot of bums outside that will speak their mind right now and say all kinds.
That's
of
why
stuff.
I know, man. But that's why people like him. It's crazy, but you know, I read. And,
crazy.
You know, I remember I listened to. I haven't. God, what did I talk about last time? Last time I haven't talked. I talked about last time I called my friends at Fox News. I was talking about I talked about the Arizona Senate debate, which was interesting. It was between two congresswomen running for the Senate seat. One, Martha McSally and Kristen Sinema. And what I thought was so great about this debate was that I was impressed by both of them. I mean, the woman that was Martha McSally is a Republican, and she was in the Air Force, and she was in the military for 20 years, was a pilot, and sued the U.S. government because get this. This is how much the U.S. loves the Saudis. They used to make women service members in Saudi cover themselves up with that shit. Yeah. So Martha McSally sued the government, so they didn't have to do that anymore.
Right.
And so I'm like, hey, all right, a woman like, there's women like, she's been critical of Trump, but, I'm like, she was very, cinema, and, they were hard on they were like hitting hard at each other, but, they were both dignified and professional, and it was just such a it was just such a pleasure, because a lot of the time you see somebody like, like a lot of debates, somebody was challenging Kirsten Gillibrand, the senator from New York, and the person challenging her was an idiot. I mean, she was nothing. So, I mean, it's just annoying to watch a debate like that. Mm-hmm. But watching and then I watched the Beto and Ted Cruz debates, and I mean, that was annoying. I mean, it was annoying me because I was annoyed at how bad Beto was doing, basically. Yeah, that pissed me off. Okay, should we play some music?
Let's do it.